Hello, welcome to this 20-minute yoga session. We're going to work through quite a few different flows, a few vinyasa flows, and get a little bit of work into those legs as well. If you have any injuries, etc., message me and we'll discuss some alternatives for you. If you feel good though, let's take a child's pose position, which is on the mat with the knees wide, big toes together, and just sink the weight back into the heels. And we're just going to rest the head down towards the mat. And let's just take a few breaths in here. Just allow this stretch just to open up a little through the hips, loosen off a little bit into the thighs and the lower back. As we focus on the breath for a moment here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then bringing ourselves up to our tabletop position, so hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to start with a nice little gentle rock of the hips forward. Lift the chest and look forwards, and then reverse that. Arch the back, chin to chest, look to the thighs, and then slowly move back to that original pose. Inhale as we lengthen and look forwards. Exhale as we arch the back and look to those thighs. Let's just get 2 or 3 more of those in. Just find a nice little release into those back muscles. Doing that one more time. And then as we lengthen and look forward, just pause there for an extra breath. And then just ease off and find the halfway point between those 2 positions. We're now going to pick up the right hand and the left knee, and I want you to reach out with that right arm and push away with that left leg. Arm and leg roughly to the height of the body. Let's pause here as we find some heat building through the body, trying to keep this position as still as possible. And again, bring it back to your breath. And then bring the hand down, but keep the legs straight, and then just tap the toes down. Now with this right foot, I want you to keep the knee down, but just turn the foot 45 degrees off the mat so that we can then bring that left foot to the inside of the foot, and then left arm into the air and open up here, with an option to lift that left leg as well. Find a little bit of resistance into the outer thigh. Breathe, hold, feel the heat build. Then it's foot down, turn back in, and back round to our tabletop again. Let's do the same to the side. Left arm reaches out, right leg pushes away. Heel to that back wall. Reach out towards the wall in front of you with those fingertips. Hold there. Again, as still as you can be. One more breath. Bring the hand down, toes tap down. We kickstand is what we call it with this back leg. So the left foot comes off at a 45-degree angle. We turn to the inside of that right foot. Right arm into the air. Lift that right leg. And let's take a few breaths here. Lifting that leg as high as you can without the body moving. And then slowly turning back into your tabletop position. Maybe just give those wrists a little bit of a roll there. We're then going to reach out with the hands, take the weight back to the heels, just tuck the toes underneath. So as we take the weight back to those heels, you feel a bit of a stretch into those joints around the toes. And stretch there. Then with a good grip of your fingertips, lift one knee, then the other, lift the bum into the air. Let's find our first down dog. So soft knees, heels push towards the floor, but don't feel like they have to touch. Let's bring the ribs and the thighs together and let the head hang between those arms into our down dog position here. Let's breathe. And then we're going to take a little movement forwards, pulling the stomach muscles in tight, letting the head come in front of the fingertips, maybe just adjust the feet slightly to find a plank position here. This feels a little bit too much for you, you can bring the knees down. And then soften those knees, let the bum lift back up into the air into our downward facing dog once more. You might want a little walk of the dog here, bending and straightening those legs, pushing the heels down one at a time. Nice little release around the lower back and into those calf muscles. And then pause. Let's go again through to our plank. Hold here for me. And then knees down, untuck the toes, maybe slide the hands back a touch, and then bend those arms. Tuck the elbows into your side as we lower all the way down there. Then lift the head, lift the chest, and then straighten out those arms as best as you can there. We then tuck the toes under, lift the hips out, move the weight back. Knees lift, bum lifts into the air, into our down dog. Now we're going to see if we can find a three-legged dog now, sliding the right leg off for our three-legged dog. Hips square to the mat, standing, knees soft, lift that leg as high as feels right for you. Then heel to bum, big stride forward, right foot to right hand. Left foot, we're going to place it flatly down onto the mat at 45 to 90 degree angle, what we call warrior stance. And then slowly we rise. Hands come up into the air. We square off these hips as best as we can. We take a good bend of that front leg. Try and keep that back foot fully down in contact with the mat. Let's take a couple of good breaths here in this warrior one pose. Next in breath, we turn to the left. Right arm in front, left arm behind. Make sure this front knee is open. And then let's reach out over that right thigh. Look down that front arm to your middle finger. Find resistance in this right thigh for me. Breathe. Open up the chest as best as you can. And hold here for 2 more breaths. Next in breath, reach out, flip the palm, take that right hand into the air, backhand to the hamstring, or you can fold just into the lower back. Lean back, but keep a good bend on that front leg. So we're opening up the ribs on that right side of the body. This time, as we bring this arm down, it comes either onto the side, to the lower leg, or you could go all the way down to the floor. We're going to open the body up. You can keep this hand behind your back if you want to, or it straightens into the air, looking up to that hand for your side angle. Pushing into this right leg now. Keep that right leg bent as we rise back up, back to our reverse warrior that we did a couple of moments ago. Still a good bend on this front leg to feel the heat build into those thighs. And this time, as this arm comes down, we push this left hip away, straighten out the right leg, reach out, lower the knuckles down to the ankle bones, left arm into the air. Nice twist again, still looking up to that top hand. Much more of a stretch on the hamstring and into the inner thigh on this one. If you struggle to look up, look down to that lower hand. Just ease those hips back to find the stretch. And then we take a bend of the leg. Hands come behind our back, straight arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, just turn to the left and fold inside that knee. So head low, hands high here for a humble warrior. You know, take a release of that and as we start to come up out of it, a little pivot on that back foot. Turn towards the top end of your mat and take these arms up into the air. Now I want us to see if we can just sink into a lunge on the in-breath and rise up on the out. Can we do that 2 more times? Inhale down. Exhale, lift. 1 more of those. Can we maybe hold it down there for an extra breath? And then we bring the hands to the floor, either side of that front foot. Step back. Adjust the feet so we find a down dog. And then we've got a little go of vinyasa here. If you prefer, just stay here in your down dog. But if you can, we come all the way over to plank. You could go to the knees if you want to. Tuck the elbows in, lower down with control. Untuck the toes. Lift the chest, either a half cobra or a full cobra. Toes tuck underneath, send that weight back. Let's find our down dog. Can we do that 1 more time? That vinyasa flow, as we call it, over to plank. Chaturanga down. Half or full cobra, and then back to your down dog. Let's take a couple of breaths there. And then we're going to lower down, knees wide, big toes touch, sink the weight back to the heels, and pause there. Breathe for me. And we're going to do all that to the other side. So if you want to stay in your child's pose just for a couple more breaths, feel free. And then when you're ready, let's rise up out of that. Bring the knees together, Tuck the toes underneath, send the weight back to the heels. Lift one knee, then the other, and we'll find our down dog once more. If you want a little walk of that dog, feel free. Then still the dog, lift the bum high, bring those ribs through to the thighs, let the head hang between those arms. We're then going to slide this left foot off for our three-legged dog. Heel to bum, big stride forward, left foot to left hand, right foot to our warrior stance. And slowly we rise up into our warrior one to this side. Sink the hips in. So we've got that left foot forward, right foot at that 45-degree angle, fully flat to the floor. Hips round as much as you can. And then sink in there. Feel some resistance into that left thigh this time. Next in-breath, we're turning to the right, left arm in front, right arm behind. Again, let's just lean over a little bit more now. Open up that chest, look down that front arm to your middle finger. And reach out, flip the palm. Keep that left leg bent as we lean back into our reverse, or sometimes called peaceful warrior. And this arm's now coming down to the thigh, to the lower leg or the floor. Open that body up and right arm, if you can, into the air for our side angle once more. Pushing into that left foot, rise back out. Keep that left leg bent as we find the reverse warrior. And then bring this left arm down, push that right hip away, straight to this left leg, reach out, knuckles to the ankle bone, right arm into the air to open up for our triangle pose. We're then taking a bend of this leg, hands behind, fold just inside that knee, head low, hands high, straight arms, humble warrior. Let the hands release, pivot on that back foot so that back heel's lifted now, the hips are square, sweep these arms up into our high lunge. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. And again, inhale down. Exhale, lift. One more, can we hold this down for an extra couple of breaths? Hold it here, feel the resistance build in those thighs now. A little shake going on. And then hands, frame the foot, slide that left foot back with control, organize your down dog. And again, remember if you need to, you can stay here or have a go at those vinyasas. Plank to chaturanga, to our cobra, back into down dog. One more if you can, let this flow. Inhale to plank, exhale, lower, inhale, cobra, exhale, down dog. Once we're there, pause, and then slowly lower those knees down, big toes touch, sink the weight back into your heels. Let's have a few breaths here. Just going to lift out of that now. Bring the knees a little closer together. Tuck the toes underneath. Walk the hands to the knees. Weight over to the soles of the feet and find this forward fold for me. Knees soft. Lift the bum high. Head towards those knees. Maybe just add a little bit of movement around those feet with the fingertips. Back to center. Slide these hands up the legs, restack the spine, take those arms out wide, let them come all the way over the head, and then bring those hands down to heart center. Let's do a little bit of balance work now. So we're going to have your feet about hip width apart. If you struggle with your balance, come off your mat to a hard bit of floor. You're going to keep the right foot on the floor to start with. We're going to lift the heel of the left foot, open up there. So the heel touches the ankle, think posture, and then see if you can lift this foot up towards the inside of the leg, as high as you want to go. Just open the knee up as best as possible. Just watch the knee as you do that. Then maybe take those hands up into the air. Maybe bring them wide. Just find a little bit of balance. A little connection to those stomach muscles will help a good grip of the toes. Hands in and down, a little shake off. Let's do the same to the side. So let's open up that other leg, slide that foot up best as you can, high as you feel comfortable going with it. And then let's take those hands up once more, open them up wide. Find your balance there. Breathe. Stay nicely connected for a couple more slow, steady breaths. And then bring the hands in, and then the foot down. And then let's just take our arms down by our side and roll of those ankles if you want to there. Just shake it all off a little. And then let's find our mountain pose. Shoulders back, stand tall here. Let's take a couple of breaths to recenter. And then we're going to take the forward fold down towards the mats. Pause here. Walk the hands forward a little bit as you bend those legs. Step back into our down dog. And as we did earlier, let's have a go at a plank. But this time, as we come through to our plank, let's pick up the right foot, heel towards the bum, knee forwards. Now, if you struggle with this, just stay in your plank, or you could just stay at this point. If you want to, though, turn towards the left, push that right leg through so the outer foot is in that space between those hands. You could stay here as well if you wanted to, or you could have a go at lifting that left arm, opening up the body. Holding for a couple of breaths, feel a little shake going on there. Then hand comes down, come out of that, send the weight back to your down dog. Bring that weight back through to your plank. Remember, you can stay here if you prefer this level. You can pick up this left leg, knee under the body, you could stay here, or turn towards the right, left foot through that space, just turn that other foot and open up by lifting that right hand. Find your level on this one. Nice strong leg, strong supporting arm. If it does feel too much, take it back to the easier level. And when you're ready, bring it in, slide that foot out and step it back in there. And then slowly we come down back into our child's pose. Breathe. Time to start easing it down now. Find the breath. Feel the heart rate just slowing back down now as we find our easier poses. Then coming up to all fours for a moment, walk the hands in, up to high kneeling. We then bring the right foot through, stride out with that right foot, heel down, toes pointing up. We're looking for a stretch on this right leg, but don't lock the knee, keep it soft. Turn to this leg and then fold over the top. Hands can be on the thigh, or a deeper stretch, we could bring them to the floor. An even deeper stretch, we would take the hands wider. Couple of nice, slow, steady breaths before we release this. Good bend of that leg, lift up, and then step back with control there. High kneeling once more, bring the left foot through, and then stride out with that left leg, heels down, toes pointed, turn to this leg, hinge the hips, hands to the thigh or to the mat, ease the hips back, feel the stretch this side again. If you want to go a little wider with the hands, feel free. Last two breaths. And bend that leg. Bring it all the way up. High kneeling once more, hands to the floor, toes tucked underneath. Walking the hands to the knees, take the weight over to the soles of the feet now, and just pause here for a moment, knees soft. Hands to the top of the feet now. Inhale as we slide them up the legs, let them come wide, and once again up above the head. Exhale as those hands come down the heart center. Thank you everyone, well done. I hope you enjoyed that 20-minute yoga session. Look out for some more coming soon. Thank you.